My friends, rebuilding yourself is not about fixing what is broken. It's about choosing to grow in the places where life has left cracks. It's about honoring your story, standing inside your truth, and deciding that you deserve to rise again, no matter what the last year has taken from you. 26 is not just another calendar year, it is an invitation to shed the old skin that no longer fits you, to release the roles that kept you small, and to step into a version of yourself that feels more honest, more courageous, and more alive. Rebuilding yourself begins with a radical act of honesty, owning your story without hiding the parts that feel messy, complicated, or broken. Too often we live as though our past is a liability, something to cover up, something to apologize for. We fear that if others knew the full truth about our struggles, our mistakes, or our wounds, they would see us as less worthy. But the truth is this: shame thrives in silence, and healing begins the moment you refuse to be silenced. When you bury your story, you bury your growth. You carry the weight of secrets that eat away at your confidence and your joy. But when you own your story, you disarm shame. You look at your reflection and say, yes, I've fallen. Yes, I've failed. Yes, I've been hurt. But none of this disqualifies me from living a whole and meaningful life. Owning your story is not about glorifying the pain. It's about reclaiming the power it tried to steal from you. Think about it this way. Your scars are not evidence of weakness. They are proof that you survived, that you endured, and that you are still standing. To rebuild yourself in 2026, you must stop editing your story to make others comfortable. Stop hiding chapters to fit into expectations. Every page matters because every page made you who you are today. And here's the most important truth. When you own your story, you give permission for others to do the same. Your courage creates connection. Your vulnerability opens doors. What once felt like shame becomes the very bridge that ties you to people who thought they were alone in their struggle. So if you want to rebuild yourself this year, begin here. Stop running from your story. Look at it, embrace it, and carry it with dignity. Because the pieces of your past are not broken. They are building blocks, waiting for you to stack them into something new. Rebuilding yourself is never going to feel safe, neat, or predictable, because real transformation does not happen inside the walls of comfort. Comfort is easy. Comfort is familiar. Comfort is the place where you already know the outcomes, where nothing is risked and nothing is gained. But comfort also has a cost. It quietly steals your potential, it keeps your voice small, and it convinces you that survival is enough when you were born to thrive. Courage, on the other hand, is wild. It is uncomfortable. It shakes the ground beneath your feet. Courage asks you to step into spaces where the outcome is uncertain, where you might be rejected, where you might fail. And yet, courage is the only soil where growth takes root. Without courage, rebuilding becomes nothing more than rearranging the old pieces of your life in a prettier pattern. With courage, you can create something entirely new. Many of us spend years stuck in patterns that no longer serve us because it feels easier to stay where we are. We stay in jobs that drain us, in relationships that break us, in routines that suffocate us, all in the name of comfort. But ask yourself, what is comfort really costing you? Every day you choose comfort over courage. You trade possibility for familiarity. You give up the chance of becoming who you were meant to be just to avoid the discomfort of change. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is moving forward while fear whispers in your ear. It is raising your hand when your voice trembles. It is walking into the unknown when everything inside of you begs for certainty. It is choosing to try again after you failed because you believe that your future deserves another attempt. In 2026, if you want to rebuild yourself, you must learn to see fear as a signpost, not a stop sign. Fear is often evidence that you are standing on the edge of growth. The moment you feel afraid is often the exact moment you need to lean in, not back away. This year, don't choose the comfortable conversation. Choose the courageous one, the one that tells the truth. Don't choose the safe dream. Choose the one that makes your heart race. Don't choose to play small just because it feels familiar. Choose to stand tall even if your knees shake. Comfort might keep you safe, but courage will make you alive. And rebuilding yourself is not about living safely, it's about living fully. One of the heaviest burdens we carry when trying to rebuild ourselves is the demand for perfection. Somewhere along the way, many of us absorb the belief that we have to get everything right in order to be worthy of love, success, or respect. We chase flawless outcomes, spotless reputations, and mistake-free lives. But here's the truth. Perfection is an illusion, and chasing it will exhaust you long before it fulfills you. Perfection is not a standard, it's a prison. It keeps you paralyzed, afraid to take a step forward because what if it's the wrong one? It silences your creativity because you don't want to share anything until it's flawless. It convinces you that your worth is tied to your performance, so the moment you fall short, you feel unworthy. Living under the weight of perfection is like running a marathon with chains around your ankles. No matter how hard you try, you will never feel free. Rebuilding yourself in 2026 means refusing to let perfection dictate your pace or define your identity. Instead of asking, how do I get everything right? Ask, how do I move forward with authenticity? The truth is, progress matters more than perfection. Small, messy, imperfect steps forward will take you further than standing still, waiting for the perfect moment that never comes. Think about this. Some of the most powerful lessons in your life didn't come from when you got it right. They came from when you got it wrong, when you stumbled, when you failed. Your mistakes are not signs that you are broken. They are markers of your courage to try. Perfection denies you the gift of growth because it convinces you that trying and failing is unacceptable. But rebuilding requires both trying and failing again and again until you find your way forward. When you release perfection, you also release the fear of being seen. You stop performing for approval and start showing up as you are. People don't connect with perfection. They connect with honesty, with humanity, with someone who dares to be real. And here's the freedom. When you no longer need to look perfect, you create space for joy, creativity, and self-compassion to flow into your life. This year, give yourself permission to be unfinished, to be in process, to be a work in progress that is still worthy of love and respect. Rebuilding yourself doesn't mean building a flawless version of you. It means building a freer, truer, more authentic you. So let go of the heavy armor of perfection. Drop it at the door of 2026. Because the weight of perfection will only keep you from rising, but the courage to be imperfect will set you free. When you decide to rebuild yourself, one of the most courageous acts you can take is learning how to set boundaries. Growth cannot flourish in an environment that constantly drains you, disrespects you, or demands pieces of you that you can no longer give. Boundaries are not about shutting people out. They're about protecting the space where your healing, your creativity, and your courage can breathe. The truth is, many of us struggle with boundaries because we confuse them with rejection. We think that saying no makes us unkind. We worry that drawing lines makes us selfish. We fear that people will leave us if we stop overextending ourselves. But boundaries are not a sign of selfishness. They are a declaration of self-respect. Every time you set a boundary, you are saying, my time matters, my energy matters, my growth matters. Without boundaries, your life becomes a playground for other people's expectations. You end up carrying burdens that aren't yours, living lives that don't fit you, and sacrificing your peace just to keep others comfortable. But you cannot rebuild yourself while constantly catering to the needs of everyone else. Rebuilding requires focus, and focus requires protection. Boundaries are not walls, they are gates. They don't keep everyone out. They let the right things in and the wrong things out. Think of them as the guardrails on a highway. Without them, you drift into dangerous territory. With them, you stay on the path toward where you are meant to go. In 2026, your rebuilding will depend on the courage to say words that might feel uncomfortable. No, I can't do that right now. No, that doesn't align with my values. No, I will not let you speak to me that way. No, I will not shrink myself just to make you feel taller. Every no rooted in self-respect creates room for a greater yes to your future. And here's the hard truth. Not everyone will thoy. Else celebrate your boundaries. Some people will resist. Some will label you difficult or changed. But that is proof you needed the boundary in the first place. People who truly love you will learn to honor the limits that protect your well-being. The ones who only loved your compliance may be watering your roots or cutting at them. That is why, if you truly want to rebuild yourself in 2026, you must be intentional about who has access to you. Too often, we try to rebuild in environments that sabotage us. We share our dreams with people who laugh at them. We bring our wounds to people who dismiss them. We show our light to people who feel threatened by it. And then we wonder why it feels so hard to rise. The truth is simple. You cannot rebuild yourself in the company of those who benefit from you staying broken. Surround yourself with people who see your light, even when you can't see it yourself. These are the people who don't just tolerate your growth, they celebrate it. They don't feel smaller when you rise, they feel inspired to rise with you. They remind you of your strength when you forget, and they hold up a mirror to your worth when shame tries to distort your reflection. Here's the thing, not everyone deserves front row access to your rebuilding. Some people are only meant to be chapters, not the whole story. And holding on to those who keep pulling you back is one of the greatest weights you will ever carry. It is not cruelty to let them go. It is wisdom. Because every person who exits your life makes space for someone who can walk with you toward your future, not drag you into your past. Think of it like this. A fire burns brighter when it is sheltered from the wind that wants to put it out. Your light works the same way. You must protect it from the people who try to dim it, dismiss it, or deny it. Instead, keep company with those who fan your flame, who remind you that your fire has purpose, and who are not afraid to sit in the glow of your brilliance. In 2026, rebuilding yourself means curating your circle with intention. It's not about surrounding yourself with perfect people. It's about surrounding yourself with people who are safe for your growth. The ones who speak truth, not flattery. The ones who challenge you, not belittle you. The ones who love you, not the performance of you. Because here's the truth. You become like the people you spend the most time with. Their voices become your inner dialogue. Their values influence your decisions. Their energy shapes your resilience. So choose wisely. If you want to rebuild yourself into someone stronger, freer, and more courageous, then walk with those who see your light and refuse to let you forget it. Rebuilding. Knowing yourself is not a straight line. It is not a flawless process that gets easier every day. It is messy. It is uneven. There will be mornings when you feel strong and unstoppable, and nights when doubt creeps in and convinces you that you haven't moved at all. That's why self-compassion is not just a nice idea. It is the fuel that keeps you moving forward when everything inside you wants to give up. For too long, many of us have believed that the only way to grow is through self-criticism. We think if we're hard enough on ourselves, we'll finally change. We think shame will keep us disciplined, that harshness will keep us accountable. But here's the truth. Shame does not build resilience. It erodes it. Self-criticism doesn't push you higher. It keeps you stuck in cycles of doubt and defeat. Self-compassion, on the other hand, creates space for real growth. It is not about excusing your mistakes or pretending everything is fine. It is about speaking to yourself with the same kindness, patience, and encouragement you would offer to someone you love. It's about looking in the mirror on the days you fall short and saying, I am still worthy, I am still learning, I am still enough. When you practice self-compassion every single day, You stop treating yourself like an enemy and start treating yourself like a partner in your own rebuilding. You learn to walk with yourself, not against yourself. And that shift changes everything. Because rebuilding isn't just about reaching a new version of you, it's also about the way you treat yourself along the journey. Think of it this way. If a child was learning to walk, would you scold them for stumbling? Of course not. You'd cheer for every step, no matter how shaky. You'd pick them up when they fell. You'd celebrate the progress, not shame the mistakes. That's exactly how you must treat yourself as you rebuild. Cheer for your step, forgive your falls, and remind yourself that stumbling is part of learning. In 2026, there will be days when you feel like quitting, days when the old voices of self-doubt get loud, days when your progress feels invisible. And it's in those very moments that self-compassion becomes your anchor. Not discipline, not perfection, not performance, but compassion. Every time you choose to give yourself grace, you make rebuilding sustainable, because grace keeps you steady when the ground feels unsteady. Grace reminds you that healing is not a race and growth is not a contest. Grace whispers, you don't have to get it all right today, you just have to keep going. So